Although the new year should start with a bang, because of the COVID, we just couldn't hang.
We didn't do our usual New Year's Eve dinner at Gervasi Vineyard in Canton, Ohio. We opted to play it safe and celebrate with an intimate dinner for two instead. Although what you see here is the turducken we had for Christmas, this gives you the general idea of how we brought in the new year. It's all about the atmosphere and the company.
This month of the year is filled full of love, and we counted our blessings from heaven above.
February is always an eventful month for us. This year was no exception. The special days come fast and furious for us. Our 21st wedding anniversary on the 12th, Valentine's Day on the 14th, and Sharon's birthday, number 67, on the 18th. COVID kept us from going out, so again, we celebrated at home in an intimate fashion. I'll leave those intimate details to your imagination. Sharon tried on her wedding dress after 21 years, and it still fits, with a little room to spare as well.
We traveled the highways, but not just for fun, but instead we got vaxxed to protect everyone.
This month, we became vaccination tourists. It was almost impossible to find openings for COVID vaccines in Pennsylvania early on, but we were blessed to find out about a program that was targeting people of color. So, we made the 2-hour drive to West Virginia and got the Moderna vaccine. Then later returned in April for that second dose. Like a lot of other folks, the second dose put us in bed for about a day or so. But it was okay because we knew that our bodies were making the antibodies we'd need to fight off the virus.
Number one daughter landed a man, a fellow who goes by the name of Van.
April's highlight was the announcement of our oldest daughter, Mi-Lynn's engagement to H. Van Joe. It seemed to us to be a bit of a whirlwind courtship, but then Sharon and I met in September, and she corralled me by February.
Newly vaccinated, we went out to play with visits, celebrations, and Mother's Day.
May turned out to be a busy month. Mi-Lynn, Lena, and Lyric came to visit for Mother's Day. They had a great visit, and I even threw in a little nature time at the pond. Later in the month, we traveled to Maryland to celebrate Lena's graduation from high school. We also got to pop down to DC to visit with Mel.
We met the new boyfriend and took his measure and had unexpected company, much to my pleasure.
In June, Mi-Lynn's fiancé Van was visiting from Texas, so we drove down to Maryland to meet up for the first time. We also had company for Father's Day back at home. Ian had planned to come, but Mel surprised me by showing up unannounced. We got to play around with some of the power equipment while they were here. Good fun for me and for them, hopefully.
We gathered with family to honor one gone and relaxed as the sax man played melodious song.
In July, we took the opportunity to gather with family in Warren, Ohio at a luncheon to reminisce about our departed nephew, Tony Stringer. Good food and old school music were shared among the memories. We visited with nieces Reva Morris and Karen Stringer as well. The next day, it was on to Cleveland to visit with nephew Lee Stringer and wife Gail, and we fellowshipped at the Word Church. While in town, we visited with Sharon's uncles, Milton and John Lewis. Next, we popped in to see longtime family friend Lilla Hughley. The three of us then headed down to Canton to the Gervasi Winery to listen to nephew Stan Miller play and sing jazz tunes at a beautiful outdoor venue on a perfect day. This was definitely a jam-packed few days.
Packing and unpacking, an unenviable chore. By the end of this time, we wanted no more.
August proved to be an exhausting month for us. We spent a week in Maryland to help Mi-Lynn pack up for her move to Cibolo, Texas, a small town in the San Antonio area. My only consolation was numerous trips to Rita's. Yum. Later that month, we flew to Texas with Lena and Lyric and helped unpack all the stuff we had packed before. On top of that, the AC in the new place decided to go out for a day or two. We did manage, though, to squeeze in a few leisure hours to visit the famous Riverwalk in San Antonio. On the way home, our leg of the trip from Baltimore, Washington to Altoona was made much more interesting by the remnants of a tropical storm coming through. Sharon was petrified in our little tiny plane. I think there's still marks on my arm from her death grip. Somewhere in the month, we managed to have a nice outing to North Park in the Pittsburgh area, and that was the first visit for us.
Some sisterly bonding while out on the road left Mark all alone in bachelor mode.
September saw Sharon and sisters Lois, Jacqueline, and Joanne take a sisters road trip. They spent the night with us and had a shrimp boil outside in the patio before hitting the road. They went to Cleveland the next day, and they spent time with family and friends there. They popped over to Detroit next to surprise their eldest sibling, Howard Jr. We also took a short trip to State College to meet Ian's girlfriend, Steph, for the first time. A bonus of the trip was the opportunity to partake of some ice cream at Penn State's Creamery, one of my favorites.
A month of birthdays filled up this time, including my hubby. Hey, that's a rhyme.
Sharon began October by returning from a trip to Savannah to visit her sister Lois and to celebrate her great-nephew Kaio's first birthday. Also celebrating October birthdays were Lena, the 13th, Milyn, the 23rd, and me, the 19th. We decided to get a little bit out of our box for my 63rd birthday by going to the Strip District in Pittsburgh and grabbing some food for a nice dinner at home. It's amazing that we'd never taken the time to go there before. We had a great meal of stuffed scallops, shrimp, asparagus, and cream cheese brownies for dessert. Yes.
We tried some new things, extended our reach, and caught some sun on Florida's beach.
This was a month of trying new things. We managed to get outside to catch the remaining warm days of the year. We hiked the Roaring Run Trail in Apollo and Hoodlebug Trail in Indiana County for the first time. We traveled to Fort Lauderdale, Florida to spend the holiday with Ian and girlfriend Steph. We had Thanksgiving dinner with some friends of Ian's and fellow Penn Staters at their lovely condo overlooking the water. After the holiday, we took a train to Tampa, another first, and we surprised Sharon's sister Lois for an early 65th birthday celebration. To cap things off, we did something I had wanted to do for years, iFly. Lois, me, Kyara, and husband Wes all braved the air and flew. What fun, but I probably wouldn't do that again.
A memorable event for one we hold dear. Plans to wind up the end of the year.
We started out the month having to quarantine twice, unfortunately, due to some unexpected exposures. We were blessed not to have any symptoms and tested negative. We were happy to get our COVID booster just in time for a trip to West Virginia. We celebrated the graduation of our great-nephew Kirk Moore Jr. from West Virginia University with a master's degree. We're excited for KJ and wife Amber as they relocate to Orlando, Florida for his new job with PepsiCo. While in West Virginia, Sharon also got to catch up with some old friends and co-workers, Jane and Charlene, both of whom she hadn't seen in a few years. Also this month, we visited State College for a mini reunion of old co-workers from my years as a Penn State police officer. And I also scored some Myers Dairy eggnog. Yes. We plan on capping off the year by getting back to our New Year's Eve tradition of listening to the smooth jazz sounds of my nephew, Stan Miller, at the Gervasi Vineyard in Canton, Ohio. Well, that's what the Stringers have been up to this year. We continue to be blessed with family and friends that we love and treasure. We hope that the year 2022 holds blessings for you all. Our wish and prayer is that you enjoy health and prosperity this coming year and that you hold on to God's unchanging hand.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.